An afternoon, I was coming home, and this policeman is like walking around the property, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Hi, Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel and you like listening to sad, funny, ridiculous stories, please subscribe. Mom would say it's like a bad sitcom. So this story is not going to be one of those funny stories. It's going to be sad. It's going to be sad and ridiculous. So I'm sorry to say that this video is not going to be a fun video or funny video or entertaining video. It's going to be kind of sad and ridiculous, but I'm just here to share part of my life, just little tidbits, since this is a StoryTime channel. So I wish I knew that this was voluntary or involuntary, or maybe it's for the best. I don't know, but the question still remains, what happened? My grandmother passed away, things were okay, and then all of a sudden, my aunt kicked my mom and I out of my grandmother's house. It was kind of sad. I guess you know what happens after parents die. Everybody just becomes a little more selfish. And funny thing is, somehow my aunt had her name on all the property. There was 3 properties, and my understanding that each property was supposed to go to the grandchildren, which would be me, my girl cousin, and my boy cousin. Somehow it didn't happen that way. My aunt ended up with her name on everything, which that in itself is a trip, because grandpa didn't want things to go back to the man. But unfortunately, the properties went back to the man except for one. But that's not what this story is about. So like I said, my aunt told my mom and I we had to go. Even the police were called, and they said we had a month to pack up. So I decided to go to Texas, because that's when I thought I was going to get married. And my mom made plans to move to San Francisco. At this time, we were living in Riverside County, which is really hot out there. And I believe this was summertime. I believe it was sometime in August. As I said, I had 2 younger cousins, one male, one female. And my younger one, which I call my shadow, would follow me all around. But by this time, she's in her, well, we don't need to go on that. The male cousin, I think he was about 15 or 16. And he lived in the house behind my grandma. Since I was moving to Texas, I got a company called U-Pack We Moved, and it was similar to like Pods, where they bring a trailer to your house and you pack it up, and they give you time to pack up, and then you call them when you're ready to travel or move across the country or wherever you're moving to. And I had a lot of stuff. So one day, my friend and I, we were putting stuff in the pod. It was late at night, because Riverside County gets so hot that we had to wait till the middle of the night to pack. Anyhow, my little cousin was passing through. Like I said, he lived behind my grandparents. So he was passing through, but not the main part of the housing. He was kind of on the other side where most people don't walk through. Anyhow, he saw us and he gave me a big old hug, which when I think back, it was kind of odd, because he wasn't a touchy-feely kind of person. He would just go on about his business. There was times we would try to take him somewhere, and he's like, no, I need to go and clean up or whatever. I'm not even going to talk about that part. So, like I said, so I just went on about my day, finished packing, however, and then I believe, I'm not sure what I was doing, but I know it was an afternoon. I was coming home, and this policeman is like walking around the property, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then he asked me, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin. And he was like, well, stay here. We need to wait on the detectives. And my stupid self. Now, anytime you're dealing with authority, keep your mouth shut. Because even if you're innocent, they may make you a suspect. Anyway, in my mind, I was blabbering, talking about, oh, well, maybe he ran away because my mom and I are leaving. And he thought, he wouldn't have anybody to depend on because my uncle was kind of topsy-turvy. And I'm just running my mouth. It took about 30 minutes to an hour for the detective to come. So me being a workaholic, I was like, do you mind if I finish packing while we wait on the detective? Because I, I didn't know. Like, I really thought my cousin had just ran away. So when the detective showed up, he showed me a picture of my cousin and he was asking me if I knew the person. I was like, yeah, that's my cousin. And he was saying that he's sorry to inform me that my cousin is no longer here and they're trying to determine if the situation was voluntary or involuntary. Since I'm on the YouTube streets, I can't say the certain words, so you guys kind of figure it out what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they were basically investigating what happened to my cousin. Now, I've never dealt with anything like this in my life. I'm just like completely numb, not sure what to say at this point. I'm just like, what are you telling me? This, I don't know. I just don't know. When my mom came home, um, I told her what happened. She was just as numb. Somehow my uncle in LA got word of it and he was highly upset because he had already had a conversation with my cousin that he was going to take him in um, so my LA uncle could watch after him, which would have been a great fit, seeing how my LA uncle had two boys of his own and they were going to Ivy League school. And now they have great jobs. One, I think, works for a senator or something like that. I haven't checked Facebook in a while, but that would have been great. And I'm really sad that my cousin didn't get to get that opportunity. Unfortunately, I had to leave that house in like 2 days because, like I said, my aunt kicked us out and had oh my goodness, trauma. So I didn't get to really follow up with the detective. I would call him every now and then, and he was saying that he couldn't get any more information because my uncle at this time, that particular cousin's father, it turned into a vegetable. He's in the hospital. He's not talking, and nobody has any information to what really happened. And it's crazy that there was no information. This town in Riverside was really small, in Riverside County, was really small. And there was a time I was conversing with my mom. At this time, I'm in Texas, and like I said, my mom is in San Francisco. And I'm conversing with my mom about the situation, and she was saying that one of the neighbors got hold of the 911 tape. Whew. And my uncle's on the 911 tape confessing things that he had did to my cousin or have done to my cousin. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I'm just like, I knew my uncle was controlling, but I didn't think he would do something like that. And my heart is still broken because I want to know what happened. I still don't know if it was voluntary or involuntary, but maybe it's for the best that I don't know. But you just having unanswered questions just leaves you kind of topsy turvy. You know what I mean? Well, Dawnies, usually this is when I say toast life because it makes for a great story, but with this story, I know this was kind of a downer. Don't worry. My next story will be a little more upbeat. It has to do with a rooster. And I'm thankful that you guys tuned in and listened to my story. Please remember to check out the other content on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.